efforts in literacy have received the approbation of the United States Agency for International Development, one of our main sponsors, and they point out that over the 3-year period, the literacy rates for boys have moved from 13.5% to 37%, and girls from 21.9% to 55%. This is value being added. We're so glad that President Obama endorsed our literacy efforts and the participation of his government when he was here. That's a kind of endorsement we can use. And we're going to do the same for the mathematics skills, although that's much more difficult. We've now had to set a target of 2018. The current numeracy mastery rate at grade 4 is a disappointing 58%. Mr. Speaker, we've removed 15 of the 56 primary schools off the shift system, resulting in improved conditions. A further 15 primary schools are targeted for removal this year. Before you know, there was little effort to alleviate the shift system. We've been accepting of things as they were. Give us 3 more years, and by 2018, Jamaica should eliminate the shift system in primary schools, even as we realign empty school places and reassign teachers and staff to areas of need. Here our present predicament. To be really comfortable, we would need approximately 49,000 new primary places. At the same time, we have 39,000 empty seats with underdeployed teachers that we're paying for. Nobody seems to have done the matching before, and the effort must be to calibrate investment with need. Since 2012, we have replaced 137 pit latrines with flush toilets. 50 more are under construction right now. Yes. No more chink, no more scorpion, no more smell. This upgrade is a big part of affirming our dignity, our young people's dignity. They'll all be gone by the end of next year, Mr. Speaker. We're more than halfway there. The public called, the Prime Minister instructed, and we are performing. Mr. Speaker, we're adding more value at the secondary level. It isn't right to evaluate a high school earlier only on the basis of the number of 5 CSEC passes they produce. Adding value is much more than that. In August, we'll present examination results not just for CSEC and CAPE, but also for the Caribbean vocational qualifications, the national vocation qualifications, and the City and Guilds exam. All of these are among a suite of examinations appropriate for graduating high school students. And these entries tend to come, from students who would normally not be entering for any examinations. And where necessary, we've helped with their fees. We have been doing better at the CSEC exams, however. There's been a pass rate improvement for students sitting English language by 14%, from 52% in 2012 to 66% in 2014. But I could go on, but we really need to calculate our successes on the basis of the grade 11 cohort entirely, not just those who are put in for exams. And we did have successes there, 11 percentage points in mathematics, and passes in English language increased by 9 percentage points over the period. Mr. Speaker, despite these improvements, the ministry is not satisfied. We have much more to do. The firm policy decision is that all grade 11 students must sit a minimum of 3 subjects in an external examination by 2017. And these subjects must include English, mathematics, and a technical or vocational subject. The ministry has deployed 84 math specialists to targeted secondary and primary schools. Our target was 146, but we simply couldn't find the suitable persons. We have also trained and sensitized 911 school principals and heads of departments to lead the mathematics revolution in their schools. It's costing taxpayers $300 million more, Mr. Speaker, and that has to come from our existing budget. But it's necessary because we believe that competence in math accounts for significant advancement in any person's life. Math counts, Mr. Speaker, as the theme for the National Mathematics Program, ably led by Dr. Tamika Benjamin, states. And we're encouraging STEM initiatives too. Last year, out of almost 40,000 Jamaicans graduating from high school, only 5,000 had sat an exit exam in science. That's not good enough. And therefore, we're seeking support to train science teachers and offer equipment upgrades, starting with the 18 technical high schools across Jamaica. And I want to thank the NCB Foundation, the Jamaica National Foundation, the Insurance Association, and many other partners in this venture, but we need much more help for math and science. Mr. Speaker, we've removed 6 secondary schools from the SHIFT system, and we plan to remove at least 20 more schools offering secondary education this year. 20 more. That will leave 18 more high schools on SHIFT, and we project to completely remove them by the latest 2018. The SHIFT system, well-intentioned as it was, is shortchanging our students by a minimum of 1 hour of instruction per day. When we looked at the results, the CSEC results from the SHIFT schools and the single SHIFT schools, 72% was the average outcome in the traditional all-day schools, and only 58% in the SHIFT schools, indicating the disadvantage that the SHIFT system imposes on our children. We have provided additional classrooms for 16 secondary schools, and over the years refurbished 286 schools to improve the quality of spaces. And Mr. Speaker, we're using the same money that we got always, but we're using it more wisely. This is adding value. We've upgraded 2 junior high schools to high schools, Aberdeen in St. Elizabeth and Bellevue in Trelawney during this year, and Nain and New Forest Junior High, Mr. Speaker, are targeted for a similar upgrading during this academic year. In our quest to add value to people's lives, we've improved the Career Advancement Program. Leader of the Opposition, that's your program. We give you credit for starting it. We're adding to what you did to provide 6,000 students per annum with job-related skills and to upgrade their literacy and numeracy. And we're adding to the traditional technical and vocational offerings at 110 targeted high schools. The 3 subjects were introduced last year, and 8 are to come in 2015. Listen to the topics: small ruminants, apiculture, renewable energy, meat and seafood handling, floral arrangements, computer graphics, visual merchandising, logistic operations. The whole philosophy is to popularize TVET subjects in the high schools to make graduates more marketable for employment when they leave school or when they can go on to higher education. We have to play to the aptitudes of our young people and to the needs of the economy, both local and overseas. That's why we've collaborated with the Junior Achievement Fund program to infuse entrepreneurship into the school curriculum. We're trying it at the primary level, and we're about to expand it into the secondary level. Mr. Speaker, we are adding to people's lives. During the academic year 2013-14, the national attendance rates were 79.5% for infant schools, 86% at primary level, and 82% at the secondary schools. Mr. Speaker, the worst thing that anyone can do is to keep a child out of school. It's very important that we set a target for ourselves to increase school attendance by at least 5% this year and each succeeding year. We have to increase school, we have to enforce compulsory education and establish tracking mechanisms for identifying and reporting instances of truancy. We have to increase parental accountability through sensitization, engagement in school activities, and follow-ups. And we have to expand the feeding program because many students are in need of nutritional support. Mr. Speaker, we've put back the E for employment into the Heart Trust NTA. Heart has a new heart, and it's less interested in running institutions and will have more of a focus on quality control and certification while training takes place in schools, communities, and workplaces. We've introduced the Registered Apprenticeship Program already presented to this House. 2,000 apprentices this year, Mr. Speaker, but by next year, we hope that it will be increased over 3 years, in fact, to 20,000 participants. And we're very grateful for the support of the International Labour Organization, who have endorsed it, and also to the hundreds, it's now more than 100 private sector agencies who are participating in the program. We've been training persons for the BPO industry, and we intend to do much more on this. And also, I want to tell all investors, local and foreign, that once we know their needs for the Jamaican education system, we'll train the finest quality employees for their enterprises, quality in appropriate skills and work attitudes. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce and JAMPRO, I'd like them to know our people must become the best incentive for investing in Jamaica. That's right. Education isn't just a social service, it's an often ignored investment tool. And the Heart Trust NTA has implemented a training and employment initiative for 15,000 unattached youth per year. It's funded, Mr. Speaker. This will touch every constituency, and I'm told it started in Northeast Manchester and in Western St. Andrew. The program consists of 3 components: apprenticeship for participants with CSEC qualifications, full skill training for participants without CSEC but who have passed the Heart entrance test, and a 3rd component is literacy, attitudinal and skill upgrading for participants who have no qualifications. Mr. Speaker, please note that these new initiatives are in addition to the normal programs and offered by Heart at its workforce colleges and TVET institutes, as well as stepped-up workforce certification. And so I'm supporting the new Heart, supporting and certifying more training in workplaces, small and large, rural and urban. I turn now to adult education. We invite persons to taste any of the menu of continuing education programs being offered by the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, the UWI Open Campus, Heart Trust NTA, the Library Service, and the community colleges. In addition, the Education Broadcasting Network offers everyone a route to lifelong earning. There's something for everyone. JFFL is offering the High School Diploma Equivalency Program, giving a second chance to earn high school certification at your own pace and progress up the education ladder. By 2018, they'll expect to be touching 15,000 adult learners, and I'm inviting my colleagues here to keep JFLL busy. Set up centers, invite them to come to your church halls, to your school halls, and wherever they can institute a class. And they're also helping with the CAP General learners. But the good thing is, it's called the icing on the cake, that the high school equivalency diploma is recognized by the New York State Office of Adult and Continuing Education and the Ontario Ministry of Education. This means that Jamaicans migrating to these areas with credentials that have international recognition will lead to better job opportunities. It's called global citizenship. It adds value. Education is value for life, Mr. Speaker, and it is for each of us to recognize that we have to access the opportunities being provided by the taxpayer through the government. The agencies of the ministry have been active. The Tertiary Education Commission is now registering all private tertiary institutions, setting standards and quality. And the ministry has brokered an agreement between the Teachers Colleges of Jamaica and the University of the West Indies for the latter, that's UWI, to become the degree granting body for programs offered by the teacher training institutions.